Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our Monday night Take Healthy Back call. My name is Michala Petersen, and I'm a pharmacist from Nebraska. And we are on this call with you tonight because we are passionate about taking healthy back. There are a few things in our country that are staggering that do not have to be the norm. And we hope that after you get off this call tonight, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. So this is normal today. 750,000 people die in the US every year of heart disease. 600,000 die every year of cancer. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men will have cancer in his or her lifetime. And according to Dr. David Katz, who's the head of preventative medicine at Yale, our children are the first generation ever who are not expected to outlive their parents. And that is staggering as a mom of 4 kids. I tell you what, that really gets my attention. More than 29 million people in the US have diabetes, and that's only increasing every single year. So we're here to talk about some things that bridge the gap. We have 4 products that you're going to see highlighted tonight. And the first one is called Juice Plus. And Diane Henry, who is on the phone and going to share her story in just a minute, introduced me to this 2.5 years ago. And my family will be forever grateful because I was one of those moms that thought we ate healthy, but I fed the kids the same fruits and vegetables at every meal. And so with kids that are now 8, 7, 5, and 3, I have been absolutely shocked with our results. And one of the things that really impacted me was the longevity of the company. It's been around for 23 years. It's in over 20 countries. It's tested 6 times from field to capsule. We have a ton of research on it, which as a pharmacist really made my wheels turn. It's safe for all ages, but the thing that really caught my eye was the Children's Health Study. And the Children's Health Study is when paired with an adult, any child can eat free for up to 4 years, which is pretty dang impressive. So I was one of those people that didn't think that we were sick. I didn't think that we had anything to gain from Juice Plus, but it just made sense to me and I wanted it in our bodies. And so I decided to become a rep right away. To me, $50 a year for no minimums, no inventories, and no quotas was a total no-brainer. But I didn't want to share it with a soul. But within 5 weeks, our family was having big results. Our 2-year-old that gagged at anything green was asking for salads and eating seconds. Our 8-month-old that needed tubes in her ears, I canceled the tube consult. We have not been to the doctor in 2.5 years for all 6 of us. So that's pretty dang impressive. And our 4-year-old struggled with focus, and she was crawling up on our laps and asking us to read her books within 4 weeks. And really now I know that she was our most inflamed kid, and I know now from the research that once you get the inflammation out of the brain, then they feel more like themselves. We all feel more like ourselves, and so that was just a fascinating thing that happened. My husband didn't have the pain in his leg that he had from a previous cannon accident, and I had energy that was through the roof. So at that point, I really wanted to research what was in this. And I read The Birth of Juice Plus, and the creator's dad was given 3 weeks to live and ended up living for 15 years. And so at that point, I messaged a mom of a kiddo with cancer, and her message back to me was, how long have you known about this, and why didn't you tell me sooner? So that's really for sure why I'm on this call today. So that's the first thing. Juice Plus bridges the gap between how many servings we should eat a day, which is 7 to 13, and how many we actually do in America, and that's 2. And then we have this awesome shake blend that is a protein powder, and it has all the buzzwords that you've probably already read by now. And we also have a Shred 10 program, which incorporates both the shakes and the Juice Plus. The shakes are great because they bridge the gap between how many meals we should eat a day and how many we actually do. And which we should eat 6 and we actually eat 2. And then the last product we have is called the Tower Garden, and that's really what got me interested in Juice Plus to begin with. I love gardening, but I do not like the 4.5-foot bull snakes where I live. And so this is perfect because you can grow 28 different plants indoors or outdoors with 90% less water, 90% less space, no soil, no weeding. And it's absolutely amazing. I could kill a cactus before, and I've got one in the living room and one in the garage now, and it's absolutely perfect. So that's the Tower Garden. And then so many people just want a program, which I kind of referenced before, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. But we have this awesome program called Shred 10. And basically what it is for 10 days, if it didn't roam or live on the earth, you don't eat it, which sounds scary, but I know for me, I did a semi-shred for 4 months and ended up finally committing to a full shred. And it's amazing how you can feel in 10 days just by giving your body a break. So I am so excited to have some amazing women on the line sharing their stories with you tonight. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about the research. And these are the systems that are affected by the research. We know that Juice Plus improves cardiovascular wellness. It supports the immune system. Our family is living proof of that. It improves gum tissue, reduces oxidative stress, reduces inflammation, which is the root of all disease, protects DNA, and gives you healthier skin, which who doesn't want to look better, right? I mean, that's a given, especially as women. We also know that insulin resistance is impacted by Juice Plus. So is abdominal fat mass. We know it increases quality of life, and we have an awesome lung health study that proves what it does for lung circulation. So without further ado, I am so excited to introduce our speakers tonight. Miss Diane Henry is also a pharmacist. She's a mom of 2 beautiful boys. We played volleyball together at UNK and went to pharmacy school together. And Diane, I will be forever grateful to you for introducing me to Juice Plus. So will you bless us with your story? Uh-oh, we can't hear you.
Can't see her either.
I can see her, I just can't hear her.
Oh.
We can't hear you. Unmute.
Yeah, I can't hear her.
Can't hear you. We'll go to Amber and come back. Sorry about that. We'll get it worked out. Okay, our first speaker then is Amber Ackerson. And Amber and I lived together in college, and she is an attorney from Lexington, Nebraska. She has 2 beautiful daughters and has an amazing Juice Plus story. So will you share that with us, Amber?
I will. I think people would rather listen to a pharmacist than a lawyer most of the time. But I'll tell my story. I'll tell my story anyway. So Diane started me on Juice Plus as well. Although I had seen Michala post it on Facebook plenty of times, Diane had reached out, and the timing was perfect. We've been on Juice Plus since July of 2015. And it's really hard to believe it's been that long. I know that doesn't seem like that long, but it's crazy to me that it's been that long. So at the time, I was actually looking for something to supplement our diets. We had a terrible school year. My oldest at that time was in 1st grade, or had just finished 1st grade, and our youngest preschool. And our oldest, Aubrey, had missed 7 days of school that year. And Brennan, our youngest, was on a morning allergy pill, an evening allergy pill, a topical steroid for eczema, and was probably on a prescription 10 to 20 days out of every 120. And I know everybody on this call is like, that is disgusting, that's sick, and it makes me sick to think that we were doing that, that we were going through that, and it makes me sad. But I'm happy to report now, 18 months later, Brennan is not on any allergy medicine at all. She hasn't had a topical steroid or really an eczema flare-up since about probably 6 months in to Juice Plus. And we've only been on a prescription about twice, and that was both this year. And the funny thing was, our kids in school, they sit at tables, not individual desks. And Brennan came home one day and said, I was the only one at my table today. And so she wanted to take everybody some gummies, but then it ended up hitting her. But I figure when there's 7 little kids at a table and she's the only one there for about 2 days, we knew it was coming sooner or later. So really that's what I was after, was something to support the immune health of our girls. And it has certainly blown me away on that. And I can second what Michala said about good eaters. I think that our kids have always eaten well, or I always thought they ate well, and never had any problems getting them to eat vegetables. But it's what other people notice, right? When you're with other people. So when somebody would say, well, what's your favorite food? The girls would say cauliflower and carrots and apples. Oh yeah, right. And then we had some people over and just had a relish tray sitting out there, and Aubrey got home from a birthday party, a movie birthday party, and she came in and just immediately started eating cauliflower. And and the guy said, well, if my daughter will do that, I'll become a Juice Plus rep. So she had a piece of celery at our house the other night, so I'm going to tell him that it's time for him to own up. But sweet potatoes and mushrooms have actually taken the top seat at our house now, which I just think is fascinating. So the girls have certainly benefited from it. My husband and I obviously are reaping the benefits as well. I think for my husband, what I've noticed at one point in our marriage, at least, he was on 3 allergy medicines, and usually every March, we're coming up on his bad time, every March he would have to get a steroid shot. And last year he didn't need that, and last year he did not take any allergy pills. So we're going to see how this March goes, but so far so good. And neither of us has been sick or been on a prescription since we started Juice Plus. So it's certainly supporting our immune system. And I always tell a funny story, because we were laying in bed one early Monday morning, and Brian kind of says with a sigh, God, this Juice Plus sucks. And I was like, what are you talking about? How could you possibly say that? The girls haven't been sick. We haven't been sick. And he's like, exactly. We have not had a sick day in a year. And so back to work we go.
That's where you need a mental health day.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to find another excuse to leave work. But
yeah.
But anyway, it's been awesome, and I have experienced probably the most, I think, in the inflammation side of it. Actually, I've had 2 knee surgeries since we started Juice Plus, which is really makes that sound sad. But one I knew I was going to have, which is actually kind of why we started Juice Plus when we did. I had knee surgery 2 weeks after we started Juice Plus. And just to kind of clean up an injury from high school, when I had torn my ACL in high school. And they told me when they did that cleanup that my knee was bone on bone in 3 places. So basically I had the knee of a 65-year-old. And then last April, I tore my ACL on my other leg, playing in a high school alumni volleyball tournament, which I should probably just give up, but I'm going to play in this one too. So, so I'm not giving it up, but the cool thing is I can, right? So, my knees feel good. I don't take anti-inflammatories. I don't take pain meds. Got done with those really a couple days after both surgeries. Just didn't need them, which was awesome. And here I go. Yeah, I'm going to play in an alumni tournament in a couple weeks again. So prayers that I don't tear anything. I don't think I can survive another surgery. So Juice Plus has been good for us, and I invested in a tower garden too, and I literally can kill anything. One of our dear friends gave me a plant that her parents had gotten for like their 20th anniversary. So they literally kept this plant alive for 30 plus years. And I killed it in 6 months. but I have a tower garden. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's
really
beautiful.
Yeah. It worked out really well. The girls were so excited.
That's good.
And, we harvested a cucumber indoors, which was a little bit of a shocker, on Christmas Day. So totally awesome. But
that's so good. Kids are so much more apt to eat what they grow, and that's what I love about it, is like they're excited to pick stuff off of there. So thank you so much for sharing your story, Amber. I never get sick of hearing it. All right, Diane, let's try this again. Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for inviting me to be on, and I am just so grateful that I learned about Juice Plus because I got started when I was pregnant, and the reason that was the reason I started. I honestly thought I was eating healthy. I was juicing, and I was exercising and all of those things, but when I look back now, I realize how unhealthy I was because I had pain and inflammation in my knees. Like Amber, I've suffered from knee injuries from sports. I've had 5 now. And I'm just so grateful that I have Juice Plus now. I wish I had known about it when I was in high school. Because that was really the big change that I noticed. That made me a believer, because I've suffered from these knee injuries for 20 plus years now. And it's hard to believe it's been 20 years since I graduated high school, but that's true. And so I got started because, I thought, it's possible that maybe I'm not getting all the nutrition I needed. And as a matter of fact, it was, because I was juicing maybe the same 4 to 5 fruits and vegetables every day. I wasn't getting this wide variety that I get now every day with Juice Plus, and it was expensive, and I was burned out on it. And I was also nauseous and tired during my pregnancy, and to the point where I wasn't wanting to leave the house. I wasn't even wanting to get out of bed. And it was only a couple weeks into taking it, I realized I had the energy to not only leave the house, but my husband and I, who's right here, by the way, driving.
Hi, Jeff.
We jumped on an airplane and went to Phoenix for a conference, which it was just amazing that I had the energy to do that after just being on the product for a couple of weeks. But like I said, 2 months into taking it, I noticed, my husband actually noticed that the swelling and the pain, or the swelling in my knees had gone way down. And he pointed out that my knees looked skinny all of a sudden. And I was like, you know what? They actually do. And I wasn't needing to ice them every night. I wasn't needing to take the anti-inflammatories. And I had been doing steroid injections and just pretty much everything. Acupuncture, I tried it all. And I got to the point where the inflammation was down, the pain was down, and I wasn't needing any of that stuff. So I wanted to share it with everybody I knew at that point. I knew that there was something to this whole food nutrition. And the exciting thing that happened was, Jeff got started, and he saw an improvement in his allergies to the point where he was able to go off of his prescription medications. And he used to hate taking them. And I would even insist, I'd be like, just take them because you're sneezing. And he hasn't had a bout, like an allergy bout, since we were at his parents' farm. So I think he's had like 1 or maybe 2 bouts of allergies since we started. And it's been 3 years since we started, which is phenomenal. Our kids who are in the background, if you can see, there's Vance. Say hi, Vance. Can you wave? And then there's James. You can kind of see him in the mirror. Anyways, they are just healthy boys, and they've never been sick, which I'm super grateful for. We've had the occasional random throw up, which I think might have been from eating too much, or an airplane flight. But never need anything like that. Now, if I lose you because the internet is unstable. But needless to say, our family has had a phenomenal experience, and I'm just so grateful for what the business has offered me. At first, I just wanted to get out of my corporate environment that I was working in, and today we don't have to deal with the traffic very often, but I used to sit in the traffic on the way to and work, and I dealt with sick calls and union strikes and things that I didn't go to school really do. I wanted to, and ever since I got started on this mission of inspiring healthy living, I have been able to help way more people doing this, and I just enjoy waking up every day and being there for our family. And it's been just really a life changer for us. My husband's been able to get out of the Coast Guard and pursue his passions. He is a graphic artist and printmaker, and he is so good at it, and I just love that he gets to do that. And we just get to, like I said, be there the way I remember my parents being there for me growing up and being at all the volleyball games and all the activities that we had. And you know, you just never know when you may not be able to be there with your family. And I lost my dad when I was 21, and it was just a really hard time for me. And I just remember thinking, you know, if I had known about this, you know, maybe this could have been the answer for him. And, you know, we will never know that, but I've heard so many amazing stories of mental health getting better and people's physical health and just people being able to live the lives of their amazing company. So I'm just like so grateful every day that I get to wake up with this passion that I have and the purpose of helping others. And I just I'm just beyond excited for the future. And so that's pretty much my story.
Oh, gosh, not a dry eye. I'm so glad we get to work together and reunite, and it's so fun to just be able to come alongside with lifelong friends. You know, Rebecca's on this call, Amber. I mean, a lot of us were Loper Volleyball Players, which is awesome. And so it's just, we went through that, you know, we were there with you, Diane, and we all wish that, you know, we all would have known about Juice Plus then, but especially for your dad. So thanks so much for sharing your heart with us. I love your authenticity. So you've heard 3 absolutely amazing stories tonight. And one thing we like to do is just talk a little bit about the company behind Juice Plus, because in my opinion, the business is just as impressive as the product. And I know several on this line agree with me. So we're just going to talk a little bit about what your $50 buys you. And if all you wanted to know was the stories, then go ahead and get off. That's totally fine. But a lot of people are a little curious about this too. So what your $50 buys you. Everyone pays their $50 to become a rep. Most people have a few people that want to do a shred with them or want to look better or feel better, or maybe they could use $500 extra a month. I know in order to make $500 a month, you would have to have $240,000 in the bank making 4% interest. So when you put it in perspective like that, that's kind of an aha moment, and it's not very hard to make $500 in this business every month. So you can have 2 customers come along with you, and the company automatically gives you a $100 thank you bonus, which is really cool. And then Michelle, can you flip to the houses? There we go. And then if you have a buddy in the business, I know this business is way more fun with a best friend. My best friend is on the phone tonight, and she didn't have a choice. I called her and said, hey, I've heard you need a buddy. You're it. Let's go and let's change some lives, you know, and we haven't looked back. So if your buddy does that same thing too, then they get a couple $100. And then between the 2 of you, if you fill up the bottom 6 houses there on that chart, then you not only get a $250 bonus, but you're at the 2nd commission level of the company, which is 14% commission. And you get a free conference ticket, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. So really our whole business model is filling up 12 houses and repeating it, you know, just teaching others to do the exact same thing. So the coolest thing though, in my opinion, is you get paid to help people do that. So if you have 3 people that you help get to VF, which is fill up those 12 houses, then you're automatically sales coordinator, which is a $500 bonus. But not only do those people that you help get a $250 bonus, you get a $250 bonus too for helping them. So within your first 6 months, you can have $1,800. You can make $1,800 in bonuses. And that's not including retail sales profit and commissions. So that's just the bonuses. And so while we know several people in this business who make 6 or 7 figures even, our real passion is helping moms, just like many of these gals on the line, stay at home with their kids if that's their dream, or make $500 or $750 a month. And we really do that by getting Juice Plus in about 20 families. That's really what our whole business model is made up of. So it is absolutely just, it's a cool business plan. And so when I started this, I told you that I didn't want to share this with a soul, and I didn't really know that I needed a business. But 4 months into Juice Plus, I was already helping more people with this than I was in the pharmacy. And I really began to look at what I was doing as if your oil light comes on in your car. You can do one of two things. You can find and fix the problem, or you can unplug the light. And a lot of times I felt like I was really unplugging the light, not really helping people empower them to make better choices. And so we had a daycare incident, though, that really tugged at my heart to stay at home with my kids. And so within 17 months of signing as a rep for Juice Plus, our team made it to National Marketing Director, which is so cool. But one of the neatest things is the awesome benefits package that comes with it. So comprehensive medical, dental, vision, life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance, prescription drug coverage, which we have not needed, family tuition reimbursement. Michala Petersen is our upline National Marketing Director on this call, and she's taking advantage of that times 2 boys right now, which is awesome. You get an expense allowance and a holiday bonus, and that the benefits package is second to none. I don't know many companies this day and age with the health crisis that's going on that's actually adding benefits, but they actually just added chiropractic care and qualifying National Marketing Director benefits. So what made Juice Plus stand out to us on the line? I know Diane is in the same boat as a pharmacist. You know, we're both kind of science geeks. And so I think we have probably been approached by every single product on the market, or a lot of them at least. And my 3 questions were always, is it safe in pregnancy? Is it safe in cancer patients? And would you give it to your kids? Not a single product that I had ever been approached about had said yes to all 3 of those things. And so when I found out that Juice Plus has the biggest children's health study that's over 1 million kids strong, it's also studied at MD Anderson in cancer patients, and we've got a pregnancy study. That's all I needed to know. But these other things really drove me to want to share it with everyone. The amazing body of research. We have 36 published clinical studies. To get a pharmaceutical drug approved to the market, you need 2 studies on the intended population, and it only has to be 65% effective. So that in its own right is impressive, that fruits and vegetables in a capsule have 36 studies. We said before that it's been around for 23 years, quality tested 6 times from field to capsule, so there's never been a single recall. There's never been a single lawsuit. We have NSF certification, which I would encourage you, if you're taking any other supplements, that you check for that NSF certification, because what that says is there's nothing in the capsule that's not on the label. There's nothing on the label that's not in the capsule, and it does no harm. So that's the third and most important. We have 4 products. We talked about the shake mix. We talked about the Tower Garden. We also have a complete bar that's much like the shake mix, and the Juice Plus capsules. And, you know, it carries a nutrition label, not a supplement label, which proves that it's just food. Authenticity, you've heard our hearts tonight. And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter in this business whether you're a daycare provider, a janitor, a pharmacist, a lawyer. There's no glass ceiling. So you all can everyone can make the same amount of money, and there's really no competition holding you back. I think one of the things that kind of held me back was that pyramid thing that you think of. And really, if you think of traditional business is a pyramid. You know, there's one person at the top and all these other people down below, and there's really no competition. Everyone is out for the betterment of everyone else. And so real quick as we end this call, Amber, I know you have done a shred. Can you just tell your shred experience real fast? Sure. I've done 2 really successful shreds where I never cheated, and I've done 2 where I did not successfully complete the shred. Called a semi-shred. Yeah, semi-shred. There you go. That's better. I like that better. Feel less guilty. Yeah. No, no matter when I have done them, even when they've been semi, I have always felt better. And I think what I think it's funny is
again, you think you're eating healthy all the time. I feel like we try, maybe not here recently, but I feel like we try. So, but what I always notice is day 2, my knees kill, right? Because all that inflammation's just coming out.
Yeah.
And so I feel it every time. And then day 3, I usually text Diane and say, oh, they're better. I'm feeling better. And then by day 10, I say to myself, I should just eat like this all the time. So I just felt so I would feel this good all the time. And so, yeah, it's been great. They've been great. I think it just really makes the whole family, for us, more conscientious of our health.
Yeah.
So much so Brian's going to do the March shred with me. He has never done a shred, but he is going to do the March shred with me. So we are super excited to do another one. And the girls want to do it too. We'll see how that goes.
That's awesome. Family friendly for sure.
It is.
Well,
it
good.
is. So it'll be fun.
Okay, and then the last little bullet on that, on the sheet, the slide of what appeals to us is community. And I think you've gotten a little sense of this. I mean, these are like old friends reunited. But Diane, will you share a little bit about the community with us and what it means to you?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's just been like my family away from home, kind of. So we live out in Hawaii, and that was honestly one of the first things that kind of blew me away with this company, was how everybody just opened their arms and helped you, whether they knew you or not. And, when we've had hard times, just the G+ community really just reached out to us and just really prayed for us and just was there for us. And so, I mean, I can't say enough about the community. I really think that if you can imagine the people in your life that you love and trust the most, those would be the types of people that you work with side by side every day within this business. And that's what's so great about it, is that you get to choose who you work with in this business. I love that I get to work with you, Michala, and you, Amber, and people that I grew up with, that I just never thought I was gonna necessarily see again or talk to again. And for some reason we were kept in touch, and it wasn't just social media, but I feel like that's a big part of, a big tool that's allowed us to stay in touch so well. So I'm just grateful for that. And I encourage everyone to just learn as much as you can about the community, be added to groups. If there's a Facebook group, you really just get to benefit from the community on those types of groups. And calls like this one, it just feels really good. So I love my Juice Plus family, and I think that we're going to be together till the end. So
that's awesome. And we have a big conference coming up in Anaheim. It's going to be the best ever. And I know if you're like me, you think you kind of have a handle on this whole community thing, and that just takes it puts it on the best dose of steroids ever, I would say. I'm blown away that we've been to a number of conferences now, and there's never been a negative experience. 8,000 people in one place, the happiest, most glowing, radiant people you'd ever meet. And we've met some really good friends at conference that aren't even on our team that I keep in touch with often, and so does everyone else. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We cannot wait to partner with you to take Healthy back. So have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.